In local traditions, there were various accounts of women who made the ultimate sacrifice in order to save the kingdom from external enemies. The female can then be seen as the preserver and protector of the race, and as one who guarantees cultural continuity and harmony. In the historical accounts of most societies, it is the female who is buried alive as a sacrifice in order to save and defend the land. This occurs much more among women than among the men, who are quite valiant too, but in their traditional roles as warriors. Princess Inipi is one who was buried alive during the Igala-Benin War. A long time ago, in the ancient Igala Kingdom, Kogi State, Nigeria, the king, late Oma Idoku, Ata of Igala Kingdom, had a girl child called Inipi, who was the only daughter of the king. It is not clear whether the king had male children, but history recorded that Inipi was the only daughter of the king. The king loved his daughter so dearly that the entire kingdom knew this, and the people called her Inipi Omafedo Baba, meaning Inipi, the father's beloved. But something unfortunate happened. During the 15th and 16th century, the Igala kingdom was at loggerheads with the ancient Benin kingdom, one of their strongest enemies. The Igala kingdom was consistently invaded by the Benin warriors, and they had plans to wipe out the people entirely. The kingdom lived in fear of the Benin warriors for many years. They were often terrorized, sudden attacks in the day and night, and laying siege to their farmlands. When the people could no longer endure the pain that has befallen them as a result of the constant attack, they cried to the king, who then consulted the oracle. But the consultation did not yield fair feedback for the king, who had to pay a very huge price. When King Idoko consulted the oracle, it proclaimed that a reversal of their misfortune and victory in the war is dependent on the king's compliance to bury his only daughter, the princess, alive. The king was broken and shattered. He was not himself and spoke less to anyone for many days. This disturbed the princess, who was the closest to her father. She tried to find out why her father suddenly changed after consulting the oracle. After so many questioning, the king finally told the princess about the oracle's decree. So what next? The people questioned in their hearts. They were lost in thoughts, thinking about what the king's final decision would be. They wondered, will the king consent or not, knowing the love both father and daughter shared. However, before the king could decide, the princess, who loved her father and her people as much as they loved her, could not bear the thought of holding off on the solution that would save her people and the land. So she decided to give her life. On the set day, the princess proceeded to the place where she is to be buried alive. Some historians recorded that it was by the big river bank, which is today called River Niger, while some say it was at the Eda Market Square. Whichever place she was buried may not be clear, but what is clear is that on the day the treasured Princess Inipi was buried, she was buried alongside with 9 virgin maids, who would help her in the journey to the afterlife, as believed by the Igala people. After the death of the princess, the king was devastated, and the people, who were still in shock at the princess's decision, praised her. After the sacrifice, as the Benin warriors advanced, they saw the whole Igala land in flames and retreated, believing that there was no need taking war to a town already on fire. But it was the blood of Inipi that deceived them. Inipi's sacrifice brought unending joy, peace, and security to Igala kingdom. It liberated the people from the shackles of their surrounding enemies, as the Igala army was no longer defeated at wars. Inipi lived and died a virgin, and her courageous act has caused many parents to name their daughters after her. Her statue is at Ega in Eda Market in Kogi State, Nigeria. Omodoko is another princess from Eda who is believed to have sacrificed her life for the safety of her people. As the legend goes, Princess Omodoko asked to be buried alive alongside some mates, just like in Ipe. There is an Omodoko shrine at the bank of the Nachalu River to the east of Eda, which has a keeper that looks after it. A statue has even been erected near her shrine to commemorate the princess and appreciate her place and role in Igala history. A powerful group named after her, the Omodoko Women Association, formed in the mid-1980s, exists in Eda and is growing a strong social-cultural thrift organization. Both Inikpi and Omodoko are significant not only to the Igala but also to those whose coming made the two princesses at different times to make the ultimate sacrifice in order to defend the land. It was during the Igala Jukun War that Omodoko was sacrificed alive in order to save the land. It was also during the war that Inachalu River was poisoned. The Inachalu River was poisoned by Igala or Igala-aided medicine men, leading to untold death of the invading Jukun warriors. Other sources indicate that Hausa Malams from Ibebeji in present-day Kano State came to the help of the Igala and poisoned the Inachalu River, leading to many casualties among the Jukun. As for the fishes in the river, the inhabitants of the area believe that any fish that is caught from Inachalu can never be cooked. No matter how long it is boiled or cooked, Inachalu fish will always be raw. However, a source says that the fish are not the regular tilapia or catfish, but are a breed of terrible-looking deformed fish. People in the area do not catch or eat the fish. I also want to make it clear that the story of the two princesses took place in the olden days. Such scenario doesn't happen in this present day in Nigeria. It's a traditional history being passed down from generation to generation. This is the end of the story.